A summer day in Stockholm. What are summer days like in the Swedish capital? Imagine living in a city where, during summer, the sun never really set. In Stockholm, at the height of summer, twilight lasts practically all night long, creating a magical phenomenon known as white nights. It's as if nature decided to compensate the Swedes for their long and harsh winters by offering them days that seem endless. But how do the 975,000 inhabitants of Stockholm live this unique experience? How does an entire city adapt to a rhythm of life dictated by 18 hours of daily sunlight? This is the story of how summer transforms not just the landscape, but the soul of one of Scandinavia's most enchanting capitals. The White Nights phenomenon, when the city never sleeps. During the months of June and July, Stockholm experiences one of the planet's most extraordinary natural phenomena. The sun rises around 3:30 a.m. and sets only at 10 p.m., but even then, total darkness never comes. The sky remains in shades of deep blue and gold throughout the early morning hours, creating an almost surreal atmosphere. This abundance of light has profound effects on the local population. Swedes have developed unique strategies to deal with this constant luminosity. Blackout curtains are essential in every home. Sleep masks become objects of prime necessity, and many report significant changes in their sleep patterns and mood. It's common to see people walking through parks at 11 p.m. as if it were mid-afternoon, taking advantage of every precious minute of this natural gift. The transformation of urban spaces. When summer arrives, Stockholm literally blooms. The urban parks, which during winter remained silent and covered in snow, transform into true centers of social life. Djurgården, the city's green island, becomes a gigantic playground where families have endless picnics, friends gather for frisbee games, and couples stroll through the flowering gardens of the Skansen Museum. Gamla Stan, the medieval city, gains new life with its squares filled with tourists and locals enjoying the sun at outdoor cafes. The cobblestone streets echo with laughter and conversations until late hours, while Södermalm transforms into the city's bohemian heart, with its viewpoints offering stunning vistas over the archipelago, bathed in the golden light of the midnight sun. Allemansrätten, the right to be free in nature. One of Sweden's most precious traditions comes to special life during summer. Allemansrätten, or everyone's right. This unwritten law allows anyone to camp, walk, and collect wild berries on public and private lands, as long as they respect nature and others' property. During summer, thousands of Stockholmers exercise this right, escaping to nearby forests in search of blueberries and mushrooms, or setting up improvised camps on the shores of the crystalline lakes surrounding the city. It's a unique form of natural democracy, where rich and poor have equal access to the treasures of Swedish nature. Midsommar, when all of Sweden stops. If there's a moment that defines Swedish summer, that moment is Midsummer. Celebrated on the Friday closest to the summer solstice, Midsummer is much more than a holiday. It's a collective experience that unites the entire nation. In Stockholm, celebrations begin on Thursday night and extend throughout the weekend. People wear traditional clothing, create crowns of wild flowers, and gather around decorated poles called Midsommarstång to dance folk dances dating back centuries. The menu is always the same: marinated herring, new potatoes with dill, fresh strawberries, and of course, generous shots of aquavit accompanied by traditional song. The escape to the archipelago. Stockholm is fortunate to be situated in the heart of one of the world's most beautiful archipelagos, with more than 30,000 islands, islets, and rocks scattered across the Baltic Sea. During summer, these islands become the preferred playground of Stockholmers. Every weekend, thousands of people board ferries and private boats heading to the island. Some seek the solitude of uninhabited rocks, where they can swim in crystalline waters and sunbathe on sun-warmed stones. Others prefer islands like Sandholm or Vaxholm, with their picturesque summer villages and restaurants specializing in seafood. It's an impressive weekly migration. On Friday afternoons, the city partially empties as its inhabitants depart in search of the island's tranquility, returning on Sunday nights tanned and renewed. The unique rhythm of summer work. Swedish summer completely revolutionizes the concept of work-life balance. July is practically a sacred month. It's when most Swedes take their annual vacations of 4 to 5 consecutive weeks. This is not just a labor right, but a deeply rooted cultural tradition. During this period, Stockholm assumes a completely different rhythm. Companies operate with reduced teams, many restaurants close temporarily, and the city takes on an almost provincial air. Those who remain working often adopt flexible schedules, starting earlier to enjoy the long, sunny afternoons. Gastronomy, the flavors of Nordic summer. Summer awakens Stockholm's gastronomic senses uniquely. Open-air markets flourish with local products, sweet and succulent strawberries, new potatoes that melt in your mouth, fresh herbs like dill and chives, and an impressive variety of wild mushrooms. Restaurants expand their operations to terraces and gardens, offering gastronomic experiences under the midnight sun. The tradition of kräftskiva, crayfish party, dominates August, when groups of friends gather to devour dill-cooked crayfish, accompanied by bread, strong cheese, and cold aquavit, all under colorful lanterns and to the sound of traditional song. Aquatic life in cold waters. Few phenomena are as distinctly Swedish as the passion for aquatic activities in temperatures that would make other Europeans shiver. During summer, when water temperature rarely exceeds 18 degrees, 64 grader, Stockholmers dive enthusiastically into urban lakes and the sea. Långholmen, a former prison island transformed into a park, becomes an improvised urban beach. People of all ages swim, stand-up paddle, and sail as if the water were tropical. It's an impressive demonstration of how culture can overcome climatic limitations through adaptation and optimism. Festivals, when culture invades the streets. Stockholm's summer pulses with cultural energy. The Stockholm Summer Festival brings classical music to parks and squares, while the Summerburst Festival energizes youth with electronic music. Stockholm Pride colors the streets with diversity celebrations, and numerous outdoor film festivals transform parks into cinema halls under the stars. Each weekend offers a new opportunity for cultural experience, always taking advantage of favorable weather conditions and infinitely bright nights that allow events extending until late hours without needing artificial lighting. The collective emotional renaissance. Perhaps the most fascinating aspect of Stockholm's summer is its collective psychological impact. After months of darkness, cold, and social isolation typical of Nordic winter, summer's arrival provokes a true collective euphoria. People literally bloom. They emerge from their layers of heavy clothing, smile more easily, and demonstrate an almost frantic disposition to socialize and enjoy every moment of warmth and light. It's as if the entire city collectively decided to make up for lost time during the dark months. Parks that remained empty for months suddenly overflow with life. Strangers make eye contact and smile on the streets. Lines form at the first cafes to open their terraces, even when the temperature is still relatively low. A summer that compensates for an entire winter. Summer in Stockholm is not just a season, it's a state of mind, a collective celebration of life, and an impressive demonstration of how human beings can find joy and beauty even in the most challenging circumstances. It's living proof that happiness doesn't depend only on perfect weather, but on an entire culture's capacity to value and maximize the precious moments nature offers. In Stockholm, summer is not taken for granted. It's celebrated, savored, and lived intensely, as if each sunny day were a rare and valuable gift. And perhaps that's exactly what makes this experience so extraordinary and inspiring.